What's up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. These are my Draftkings MMA picks for UFC Vegas 9. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Draftkings MMA picks video. This time we are breaking down a pretty exciting card. We are now down to 9 fights, though, so that kind of sucks, but still, it's a pretty great card, especially from a DraftKings perspective. I think it's going to be very exciting. I see there being a lot of finishes. We have a great co-main event, Osp Minifield, a great main event, Osp Sakai, and of course we have the people's main event, Michel Pereira versus Salim Imadaev. Pereira, the dude that, the crazy dude with the backflips and the cartwheels and the Superman punches. It's going to be a fun fight. So, coming off of last week, was a decent week, was really close to that winning lineup. I needed either Smith, Kim, or Cyphers to outscore Algio for a share of the winning lineup. So it was really close to that. The dude that took it down, I believe he took it down solo, and he stacked the Lamas and Algio fight. I don't know if it was on purpose or if it was on an accident, but I mean, shout out to him. I mean, that's awesome. I never thought of stacking the Lamas Algio fight, but was really close to the winning lineup. Hopefully get it this week on this card. I think it's going to be a high scoring card. There's going to be a ton of finishes. Last week we saw 4 straight submissions. After that, all decisions. You can make a case for almost every fight on this card finishing, maybe besides the De La Rosa and Viviana Roju fight, but maybe the Azure fight and Smith fight. But other than that, I think most of these fights are going to end inside the distance. So with that said, before we get started, if you guys can leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, would really appreciate that. And just wanted to say thank you guys for 6,000 subscribers. Could not do it without you guys. Great milestone. So really appreciate that and all the support from you guys. So fight doesn't go to decision lines, as always. These are the fights we are going to want to target the most. And Romanov, De Lima, minus 700. Fight doesn't go to decision. So it's safe to say this is going to end inside the distance. We'll talk about it more, but I do like Romanov quite a bit. But you can't really count out De Lima. He's the more experienced fighter. Sometimes these UFC newcomers don't always come in and perform how they do on tape. Don't necessarily see Romanov picking up De Lima and slamming him like he does to some of these lower level guys. Maybe he does, I don't know, but I like Romanov in this matchup. I think it's a good stylistic matchup for him. For that reason, I'll have a lot of them, but at the same time, you're going to want some De Lima, especially when a fight is minus 700. Fight doesn't go to decision, it's safe to say someone is going to get finished. Overeem Sakai, minus 285. Fight doesn't go to decision. A fight I want to have both sides as well, especially, with the price of Sakai at 7,400. I think there's tremendous value there. But if Overeem wins, 5 rounds, he's probably going to be on the optimal lineup, especially on a 9-fight slate. This is not a main event I'd really fade personally. I'm probably going to go close to 100% on, especially on a 9-fight slate. Last week with Smith and Rakic, they combined for 67, 68 points, which was awful. But this fight's 5 rounds. I'm probably going to be a finish in here, whether it's Overeem getting a late stoppage, or I can see Sakai getting a stoppage as well. So a fight I do want to target quite a bit. Same with this next one, Osp Minifield. I do like Minifield quite a bit. I think he has that first round knockout upside, and that's what we look for a lot of times for these DraftKings plays, the guys that can go out there and get that first round knockout, and it's definitely on the table for Minifield. OSP is someone who gets dropped in pretty much every fight. He's only been knocked out twice, though, but I do like Minifield. I'm on the Minifield side, but at the same time, I will have some OSP just in case that gas tank of Minifield doesn't hold up and OSP is able to grind him out. Maybe he submits him later in the fight as well. So Turner, Moises, minus 230. Fight doesn't go to decision. A fight I'm going to be decently high on. Turner at 7,200 is a very good value play. We'll talk about it more, but I like that quite a bit. And then Moises at 9,000. I think it's going to be sneaky because all the line values on Turner. So I think not many people are going to play Moises. And, Moises is live for a submission if he's able to get Turner down. Maybe he does. Very capable of getting a submission on the ground. Pereira Imadaev, minus 180. Fight doesn't go to decision. This is going to be the fight of the night, in my opinion. Hopefully we see some backflips, some cartwheels, some fun stuff. 2 crazy guys going at it. This dude, Michel Pereira, is absolutely insane. He said he was training with cows, taking down cows, running with the horses. This dude, is a very exciting fighter to say the least. So really looking forward to this fight, and it is a fight you want to target on DraftKings, especially with it being 8,200 matchup. Getting into the core plays here, Augusta Sakai, 7,400. I mean, I love that price in a really close matchup. And main event, I like the value there. We know the story with Overeem. I think Overeem is the better fighter. I really do, but it's just the chin, the durability. He's been knocked out 13 times. And Sakai's not someone who packs the most power, but he still hits hard. I do think he has enough to get Overeem out of there. He does throw a little bit more than Overeem. He throws about 5 strikes per minute compared to Overeem's like 3 something. So he's going to throw probably a little bit more output. The thing I'm worried about with Sakai is Overeem getting takedowns and controlling on the ground for minutes at a time. I just don't necessarily see that happening, but maybe he does. I mean, from what I've saw, like Sakai has pretty solid takedown defense. I think he's been taken down once in the UFC. Maybe Overeem's able to get him down. I think he's capable if he does come out there with a wrestling heavy game plan, but that's just not something Overeem does. Overeem only averages about 1 takedown per 15 minutes. He does have a 54% takedown accuracy. Sakai does have an 83% takedown defense as well, but I don't know. I'm gonna play both sides, but I do love the value at 7,400. I do think he's very live for a knockout win. Alonso Matterfield, 8,300. We know what the deal with Minifield. I like him quite a bit here at this price. I mean, he's someone who typically we see up there at 9,000. So we're getting him at a nice discount. Someone who's very explosive, someone who hits very, very hard, someone with that knockout capability. And I do like him in this matchup. I mean, a lot of people are on OSP, and I can understand why. The recency bias with Minifield in his last fight, losing to Clark, not a bad look at all. He gassed out after that first round, but I don't know. I don't know how OSP's cardio is going to be, especially cutting down weight again within the 2-week span. When he cuts a lot of weight, he cuts a ton of weight. I think he said he cuts down from I think he said 240, something like that. So he's cutting a lot of weight, getting down to 205, and that could affect his gas tank. And OSP doesn't have the best gas tank to begin with as well. We got to think about that too. OSP is someone who gets dropped in pretty much every fight. He's been knocked out twice. I think Minifield can get him out of there. Bartosz Fabinski, this play is very interesting. 8,600 on DraftKings. So I'm not necessarily picking him to win. But when this guy wins, he's scoring a ton. And if he does get the win, if he does stay out of trouble, he's probably going to be in the optimal lineup. I mean, he scored 122, 100, and 102. He's someone who averages 7 takedowns per 15 minutes. Moises has a 30% takedown defense. So although I am picking Moises to get the submission, but if Fabinski can stay out of trouble, I don't see how he's not optimal in this matchup. This is a matchup where he can go out here and get takedowns, get some advances, and get a lot of them. So as long as he does not get subbed, I think he probably is on the optimal lineup there. So for that reason, he's a core play, but I will have both sides. I do like Moises as well. Alexander Romanov, 8,400, high upside play. Another guy that's going to come out here and try to get the fight done in the first round, get multiple takedowns, and DeLima, someone who does struggle with that takedown defense, has a 40% takedown defense, something awful like that. He's been submitted 5 times. Maybe Romanov submits him, but I think he's in more of a ground and pound. He has some really good ground and pound. And I don't know, I think he can wear out DeLima, get him out of there maybe the second round, first round even is possible as well. I like Romanov a lot as long as he can just not mess around on the feet. I think if he comes out here and tries to test his striking with DeLima, he's probably going to get knocked out. But from what I've seen, he doesn't mess around on the feet. He goes out there and tries to get the takedowns right away. So shouldn't worry about that too much. GPP plays here. Michel Pereira, I mean, his style of fighting, I do think he wins this fight. It's just you really can't trust him. Don't go all in on this play or nothing. We saw when he was absolutely destroying Diego Sanchez and the legal knee, which did hurt a lot of my lineups because I had a bunch of them. But I think he wins this matchup. But, is he going to come out here and fight like he did against Sanchez and, with, no backflips? Or is he going to come out here like he fought against Tristan Connolly and do backflips and do cartwheels and jump off the cage? I don't know. We don't know what we're going to get out of this guy. So I'd be very cautious. But he is a high upside guy, so we got to play him as much as we probably don't want to. All-Star Overeem, 8,800. I mean, if he wins this fight, which is... it's likely. I think it is like I think he's the better fighter. It's just the chin that really worries me, and it's why I can't pick him. But when he's winning, he's scoring a lot. In the Harris fight, he scored 128. Oleinik, he scored 115. First round knockout. Pavlovich, 106. Hunt, he scored 83. Arlovsky scored 100. So when he's winning, like, he scores, very, very decent. He has 5 rounds to work with. If he wins, especially on a 9-fight slate, I don't really see it not being optimal. So Overeem is definitely somebody I want to have, but it's just, that chin is something to really worry about. Brian Kelleher, 9,200. I don't know. I think he can get a finisher. I think he can get a submission if he's able to take down Natividad, but I don't know. I think this fight's going to play out closer than the line indicates, especially in the striking. Natividad's going to have like a 6-inch reach advantage. And Natividad's not a bad fighter. It's just Kelleher has that experience. Kelleher is very dangerous on the mat as well. Natividad has been knocked out once. I don't see Natividad winning, but I think he can make this, a pretty close fight. If anything, maybe Natividad could win a decision if he's able to stuff the takedowns of Kelleher, or if he keeps us on the feet. Maybe he tries to take down Kelleher. I don't think that would be smart, but maybe he does. But maybe he could use that length and reach to pick apart Kelleher. It's possible, but I got to go with the experience of Kelleher to get it done. I think it's going to be a finish. Kelleher is a very dangerous guy. Finishes about 80% of his wins. And, Natividad has been knocked out before, but he does look tough. So I think Kelleher is going to submit him if he's able to get him down. I think that would be a good game plan there. Thiago Moises, 9,000. This is kind of a sneaky play here. A lot of people are going to be on Turner, including myself, because of that line and because, basically I think Turner's going to win. But if Moises wins, it's going to be a submission. And at 9,000, if it's in the first round, yeah, it could be optimal for sure at low ownership. So that's just a play you do want to have some of, just in case he's able to get Turner out of there in that first round. If he gets a sub in the second, probably won't be optimal, honestly. He doesn't really do much. He doesn't throw much. If he gets maybe a takedown in the second round, submits him shortly after, maybe he scores like 90 points. I think there's going to be a lot more high scores on the slate than that. But if he gets that first round sub, he's more than likely to. But in all honesty, I think Turner's going to be fine. Turner's a brown belt. He doesn't look like a fish out of water on the mat by any means. I think Turner gets it done by either picking apart Moises or even knocking him out. So I'm going to be on Turner, but, Moises isn't a bad option if you want some a low ownership play. First of all, Eubanks is not fighting anymore, but Eubanks is out. Zalim Imadaev, 8,000. If it's just you can't trust Pereira. So maybe Imadaev is able to come out there and knock him out. Maybe even take him down as well. He looked like he has some decent wrestling, but I don't know. I'm not really high on this guy, but if you do want to fade Pereira, it's not a bad if you want to take a shot on Imadaev at 8,000, especially because this fight is probably going to end inside the distance, especially with Pereira's gas tank and all that. Don't really see this going to the scorecards. Andre Muniz is 7,600. If he wins, it's going to be, I can see a submission. I can see a decision. It's just he's going to be on his back a lot of the fight. And what I'm banking on is him getting a submission. He has 15 minutes to work with. Fabinski is most likely going to take him down. And, he's more than comfortable on the ground. I think he's like a second-degree black belt in BJJ, extremely high level on the mat. So I do think he finds a submission at some point in the fight. If he finds it like in the third round and after getting dominated, I don't know, maybe he doesn't hit the optimal lineup. But if he finds it in like the second or first round, I do think it could be optimal at that price tag. De Lima, 7,800. I mean, he's the more tested guy. We still don't know all that much about Romanov. Maybe he comes in here, doesn't look as good as he did on tape, which is very possible. But I don't know. I think this is a bad matchup for him. But if Romanov stays standing with De Lima for, a couple minutes, I mean, that's probably all De Lima needs. I mean, De Lima hits very hard. But from what I've seen on tape, Romanov's going to come in here and not really mess around on the feet with De Lima. And he's going to try to take him down right away. But it could be kind of a leverage spot. I don't think many people are going to play De Lima. I think a lot of the ownership's going to go on Romanov. And then OSP, if he's able to grind out Minifield, get him tired, if Minifield does gas out, like I said, I don't think OSP has the best gas tank himself, but if OSP does get Minifield down, he's probably going to submit him. So don't necessarily see that happening, but I will have some just in case. Pump plays, there's really only one here, and it's Jalen Turner for me, 7,200. I like him to win this fight. A very dangerous guy. He's going to have like a 7-inch reach advantage, something crazy like that, like a 6-inch height advantage. He's going to be way bigger in there. And I don't know, I like this guy. I mean, he's 9-5. He's been knocked out a couple times. His last two losses against Matt Frevola and Vicente Luque, no shame in those. Frevola was able to take him down a couple times in the first round, but after that, he was able to start stuffing those takedowns. And I think his takedown defense is good. I think his takedown defense is improving. I don't think Moises is the same level type wrestler as a guy like Matt Frevola. So I don't know. I like Turner to win this fight, whether it's a decision, outpointing Moises, or even, knocking him out. But Moises has never been knocked out, but there's a first time for everything, and, Turner's very dangerous. So I do like Turner at 7,200. I think it's a fantastic price tag. And then fades, you really can't fade anybody on a 9-fight slate, but this is probably going to be one of my lowest owned plays. It is Hunter Azure. I'm also not going to have much Cole Smith as well. I just see it being kind of a grinding fight. Cole Smith is someone who's going to, put you against the cage and try to take you down, grind on you, maybe take your back standing. I just don't really see this fight scoring well unless there's some type of finish. Maybe there is, but Smith, is a very tough guy. I don't necessarily see, Azure knocking him out. Maybe he does, but this is probably going to be one of my lowest owned targets on the whole slate. And the thing is, this is the first fight of the night, and we know crazy things happen on that first fight of the night, but I don't know. But I'm not going to really go out of my way and play a guy like Azure or play a guy like Smith. It's really a fight I don't really want to play much. Alright guys, that's about it. You can always become a member of my Patreon and receive full access to my model with all the stats for all the fighters, my premium projections, my GPP lineup percentages, my Draftkings article, which comes out early Saturday morning, late Friday night, and then also access to my Discord so we can talk fights during fight day and ask any questions you guys have. I try to make it the cheapest price possible so you guys can sign up any time of the month, but now is the best time to sign up because it is the first of the month, so you're getting it for 4 weeks, which is the best value possible right now. So the link will be in the description, but with that said, good luck guys. Make sure you guys tune in tonight for the live stream. Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, going live, answering any questions you guys have. Come hang out, and let's get it.